evening, everybody. Welcome to Tiger Talk on Scobie Sports Radio. I'm your co-host, Dave Williams, with the broadcast legend, Jim, the coach Scobie over here. We'll be joined tonight by head coach Jim Collins of the Wittenberg Tigers and some of his players. And
Tiger up, baby.
Yeah, and another big win on the road. A come-from-behind win, coach, against a good team had to be a great feeling on Saturday.
No doubt, especially with the way it started. You know, we didn't get much going on offense. Defense played great early on, but then to have that second half and then be able to finish it in overtime was a great feeling. Obviously, the guys worked really hard and deserved it, did everything you had to do at the end of that game to win it, and, you know, hats off to them. I'm really proud of our football team.
Coach, that's a heck of a setting, you know, when you try to talk to people about – I mean, there's nothing like playing at Edwards Mile for you, but that setting right there is pretty special. Of course, the great Woody Hayes, you know, was the coach there. You guys, like you said, got down 7-0, and then in the second quarter, neither scored. Then you scored 14 points. What was it that you talked to the team at halftime about?
Well, the thing that we focused on at halftime was that first half's behind us, and if we're going to win this football game, we got to have people step up in the second half on offense and make plays. And the first play of the second half, we threw a bubble screen to Dean Tate, and he broke about 3 or 4 tackles, made another 2 or 3 guys miss, and went over 70 yards for a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage for the offense in the second half. And that play in itself kind of set the tempo for a great second half from the offensive side of the ball in terms of being able to move it, make big plays, and put points on the board.
Yeah, Dean had 9 receptions, 193 yards, over 21 yards of reception, and that big touchdown, 74-yard touchdown.
And Dean, was that one of the most exciting plays for you in your career? And just talk about what that did for your team.
Honestly, I've been through a lot of playing career. I don't really know where it ranks right now, but I was just trying to get a team a spark. You know, we was down 7-0 for the longest. Defense was helping us out, kept getting stops, and I was just trying to be that spark plug and get the guys going. And then we scored, I think, maybe 21 unanswered points. You know,
everybody has to have a go-to guy, and I know Max Milton has gone to you, and of course Tyler May is here. But you've been kind of the go-to guy. You're the guy that kind of revs this offense up. And can you talk about maybe how you've developed in this last year? You are, I believe, a fifth-year senior, which has got to help you a little bit strength-wise and all that. But how has this season been different from the others?
Really just the offense. I feel like Coach Collins just puts us in the best position to execute the plays down the stretch. I mean, I've been a consistent target, but, I mean, obviously we need everybody to win. Troy Teepee touchdown, Tyler May touchdown, and overtime. So, I mean, everybody's needed.
Coach, this is a game that a lot of people had, you know, on paper that aren't Wittenberg fans, but they thought, boy, if they could Dennis could knock off Wittenberg, that would take them maybe out of the contention. But the reality of it is you go over there and you get a huge victory, and, you know, you're 2-0 in the league, and it just says something about how you're setting the tone here each week, getting better, and everybody in the conference has noticed.
And I think the biggest thing is our guys have worked really hard. So whenever you have a team that's worked really hard, you want to reap the benefits of all that hard work. And we've had great leadership. And you know, the other part of it is we show a lot of grit. You know, this was very similar to the Dubuque game where we're behind and we've got to come back and fight and claw and scratch and make plays, and guys have stepped up, and that's what you have to do. And winning teams always have those people. It's a collective effort, but then that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 guys that step up in the moment and make that big play that puts you in a position to win the football game, we've been able to answer with in these football games. And you know, we've got offensive guys here today, Jim and Dave, but the defense played spectacular in that first half and really kept us in it and had a great third quarter that allowed us to build momentum. And I think when you get into overtime, you need to get a stop. They got the ball first. You know, we stopped them, made them force a long field goal, and then put our offense in a position where we knew a touchdown would win the game.
You know, Eli Rennick, 3 sacks.
Yeah.
And then you also had, is it Tyree?
Tyree Smith had
Smith, he
12
had-
tackles.
and he had a
12
sack.
5
you know.
solo and he had a sack.
Yeah. And so, you know, Eli Rennick was the defensive player of the week in the North
Right.
Coast Athletic
Right. Had to
Conference.
be.
And I mean, we had guys on offense obviously deserving of it as well. But Eli, you know, a lot of big plays, Tyree, but across the board defensively, we ran to the football, we tackled well. And I thought we really bounced back from that Alma game and put up a great defensive effort.
That is fantastic. And, you know, we look back, even don't want to look back, but that Alma game, you did learn some things. You guys didn't give up in that game. In fact, you know, in the second half, you guys fought to the end. And I think that says a lot about your football team. Homecoming is here. And everybody remembers homecoming at Wittenberg. I've lived in this town the majority of my life. And I can remember when they had the parades. And I remember when the sororities and fraternities all had like amazing pageantry at
That
each
floats,
site, the
yeah.
floats. It was such a great deal, but it's still pretty special. Can you tell maybe to these 3 guys that are here what your homecoming was like when you were back in your younger days at Wittenberg?
As a player, you know, I always felt the obligation to play at a high level at homecoming because you knew all those old
Everybody
Tigers
came back.
were going to
Watching
be
you.
at the game, and they were going to be watching you, and they wanted to find out what that present group of Tigers looked like and played like. So it was always, for me, something special. You got to see those guys that played on those great Wittenberg Tiger teams before you. And so, obviously, as an alum, it's going to be special to coach, you know, at our homecoming this year. And my wife's an alum as well, so you know, she'll be back for homecoming, and so it's going to be a great environment, always is, and looking forward to it, especially this year with the fact that we are putting into the Hall of Honor the 73 and 75
Wow.
national championship teams.
Isn't that special?
Yep.
Coach,
Yeah.
what do you do? You've got a Hiram team coming in really struggling, and the kids are only human. What do you do to keep them on track?
Well, you know, that's a great question because I think what you do is you keep the standard high in practice. And as a coach, you stay demanding. And what you have to have is great leadership that also keeps themselves to that, holds themselves to that high standard and holds their teammates to that high standard. And we say it every week. We're playing to a championship standard. That's what we're playing to. We don't want to play to the level that our opponent is at. We want to play to a championship standard that we think it's going to take to win the North Coast Championship. So that's what we're shooting for every single day we walk out on the practice field.
Does it, Dean? Does it occur to you that, I mean, you know, some of these 73 and 75, I was like in high school during that time. You didn't think I was that old, did you?
Nah, I didn't.
You're the man. I'll be talking to you afterward.
Yeah.
But you know, it's amazing though. You're going to get to see some of the great ones to win a national. I mean, I got goosebumps just even saying that. What tradition, you know, for those guys to come back, and you get to play in front of them. What does that feel like to you, 5th-year senior?
Mm-hmm.
What an opportunity. What's that like?
I know tradition is big here. I'm excited though to play in front of everybody that's coming back. I mean, national championship team, I'm sure they have high expectations. So, I mean, I'm ready to just put on a show for them. Hopefully, we come out with a win, and then we can enjoy homecoming.
And you're a part of this tradition. I mean, it's got to be exciting. A lot of people go to college. A lot of people play sports, but they don't always get to play on a great legacy team or group of teams that continue to hold, as Coach said, hold that banner high, you know, to raise your level, to be able to play in a Wittenberg uniform. That really says a lot. What's it like to play for the Wittenberg Tigers?
I mean, so far it's been a great experience. I mean, we've been tested. I mean, we was tested first game, down a couple possessions, put some drives together. I mean, I feel like all great teams, national championships, conference championships, like those teams, they're tested throughout the season. And so far, we've been passing the test. And the only thing we can do is keep elevating.
And that's got to be tough when you're on the road, especially in Dubuque. I can't imagine Were there a lot of Wittenberg fans there? I mean, that's a good drive.
We travel well. You know that, Dave.
Yeah.
And you know, it's mostly parents, but we did have some alums that are somewhat local to the Dubuque, Iowa, that drove on over for the game. And our fans have a lot of passion. And we've got a great parent group.
Yes,
we
you
really
do.
do.
Yes,
We've
you
got a
do.
great parent group that supports us really well and makes us feel like even when we're on the road, it's like a home game. And we had great support this past weekend.
You know, it's funny, but it is so helpful when you do have a great parent group.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, and that's one of the things about Division III football is, you know, you don't have the big, huge crowds like you do at the upper levels, but you've got passionate fans, and it's family members, it's student body, and it's alums, and that's who comes to the games. And then you'll get local fans as well, and you know that the people that take the time to come to our games they're coming to support our team, and they, you know, they breathe Wittenberg Tiger football every breath, and are there to support us.
And Coach, the tailgates are amazing. Do you get over there before the games at all?
Well, I don't get the opportunity to get over there before the game.
Because
right?
I do. I get
I'll
over
be
there.
back, guys. I'm going to
I be chowing, you know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
I be tearing it up. I mean, they're so neat, and they put on, you know, such, they have like a buffet line, and there's just so many good people. And it's amazing how they build such a close bond during those times. And I've seen, I'm sure these families, they follow. I mean, even the guys, I talk to them even now, that these guys have been out of school for a while, but their families still want to know, you know, how the players are doing. It's really special. So homecoming here on Saturday, it'll be a 1 o'clock game, and I think if you get a chance, make sure you get out there because it's going to be fun. It's always a pleasure to be at Wittenberg. The weather is going to be great, although we might get a little bit of rain, but we're hoping it stays away. But some good football coming up this weekend. And Coach, we're gonna ask some of the players now to come on. I've got some things I want to ask them, but Coach, we'll hopefully get you back. Dave's going to step out a minute, and I'm going to have the other two players come in, and I'm going to ask them some questions.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. We'll get you back, Coach, in a minute. Dean, why don't you slide down one?
Stand tall, even in the darkness. These walls can't hold us in. I know, even in the hardship, it may take a little time, but I'm gonna win. Hey, ooh, hey, ooh, it may take a little time, but weights been lifted, flying on this feeling. It may take a little time, but I'm gonna stand tall when the water's crashing. Close call, it's sink or swim. I know, even in the hardship, it may take a little time, but I'm gonna win. Hey, ooh, hey, ooh, it may take a little time, but I'm weights been lifted, flying on this feeling. It may take a little time, but I'm gonna win. It may take a little time, it may take a little.
Back here on Tiger Talk, we're delighted to have three of the Wittenberg Tigers with us, and we've already talked to Dean Tate, and we've got a chance now to talk to Tyler May, and we also, and Tyler, one of the great wide receivers, and Tyler is also, I believe, from Indianapolis. Is that correct?
Oak Harbor, Ohio.
Or you're Oak Harbor, okay. And then you guys are both who's from Indy? You're both from
Yes,
Indy.
sir.
There you go. Oak Harbor, a really neat place up there.
yep.
When I was at Dayton, we had we actually recruited a lot of players out of Oak Harbor. Before we start, I wanted to ask Max you a little bit about taking over the reins as the leader, the quarterback. What has that been like this year? And, what have been the highs and lows so far?
Yeah.
Pull that up close and speak into it.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. It's been smooth for the most part. I really just see it as a blessing, as a privilege to be the quarterback for the Wittenberg Tigers. So, this season's been a great season. Ups and downs for sure. But like I said, the team has been great. Getting off to a good start against Dubuque, and then kind of just riding the highs and lows through the season, and being able to get a good win against Denison this past week was huge for our confidence, and just looking to keep building.
Take us back to Dubuque. What was a play or a couple plays that really helped get this team over the top? When did you know that, man, we got something going?
Yeah, that Dubuque game was difficult to start for sure. Playing a team you're not super familiar with and playing on the road in Iowa, a long trip. First half we didn't get off to a great start, but the fight this team has, we just kept going, kept battling, and then Dean made a huge play in that third quarter to kind of spark us again, like he did this past week. Kind of looking for a guy to make a play, threw the ball out there, had a huge play from him, and then just really all around. Like O-line was battling their tails off, and then at the end being able to throw that ball to Bryce Anderson, who's also from Indianapolis, a fifth-year senior as well, being able to get in the end zone to win that game was huge for us.
Dean, talk a little bit about Max, you and your relationship. You've had a chance to really grow together. Do you ever, in the huddle go, hey, I think you need to come my way? Does that ever happen?
Nah, not more so in the huddle, just because we're a no huddle team, tempo team. So
it's not.
I don't know if he can see my eyes like when we looking at the signal, but I do try to make eye contact like. It's third down right here. We're trying to move the chains.
I love it.
Yeah, that's just being a football player. I mean, everybody who plays football wants the ball in big time moments. So yeah.
Now you also we've got Tyler May here, and Tyler, you certainly are a part of this. There's got to be some competitiveness between you guys, and I think that makes a team better. Here's Dean over here, and he's a guy that 190 some yards, and then you're competing too. What's that like? Has that been helpful to see this team compete even with wide receivers? I mean, certainly you're trying to beat the other team, but you got to have some guys that will rev you up too.
Yeah, there's definitely great competition in our receiver room, obviously with Dino and Malik, just us starters, and then the guys behind us as well. We're all great playmakers and all learn a lot from each other and able to add more to our bag out there on the field. So.
How do I get some curly hair like that? Because I've been trying so hard, and it's like he's got that look, man.
That's the look. Bub's cut.
Is that Bub's cut? Now, who's Bub?
That's Bubby. That's the OG Bubs right there.
Everybody is
OG Bubs. I love it. I love it. No, really, honestly. But, Tyler, you've made some great catches, and this is an offense that continues to get better. What do you like about the offense? One of the things that Coach talks about a lot, and he's been so successful everywhere he's been, and that's balance.
Yeah. The
ability to run the football and set up the pass. And I'm sure, Max, that helps you a ton. But, Tyler, it has to help you too as far as your routes and getting open.
Yeah, definitely. I think our offense this year is set up a lot for many different guys to get the ball from every receiver spot to the tight ends to getting the backs out. Just switching up a little bit from last year, just getting the ball in more of our playmakers' hands, and I think it's been really beneficial for us so far.
Fantastic. Max, do you understand how big a game like this is for homecoming? Over the years, I mean, Wittenberg football is an elite program, and homecoming is special. And does it occur to you just how special it is that, and I know as a young person, life's so exciting, you don't always, the big word now today is being present. But do you catch yourself going, wow, I'm in the moment, and I'm getting a chance to play homecoming with all these phenomenal teams and the history and legacy of Wittenberg right here. What's that feel like? I mean, I got goosebumps again.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to know that you're the man. You're the quarterback leading Coach Collins and the rest of these guys to homecoming.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, it's a real privilege having those teams come back, 75 and 73, having those guys in the building, and always just every Saturday we walk out there having the W across my chest. It feels special to me for sure. Being out on the field, sometimes I'll catch myself just looking up in the steamer, being able to see that and see all the fans and the great support we have. It's really special, and knowing those guys are going to be back here this weekend, you always want to play good every Saturday you go out there. But it's definitely a little more motivation, being able to do that in front of guys that have paved the way, and you always want to honor the guys that played before you, especially here. A tradition like this, there's not really like it anywhere else.
And I think it's interesting. I know Coach Collins has said it, and Tate and Tyler. The thing that's really interesting is that you guys are you have a building like you do. It's unbelievable. Nobody in Division III has anything like that. And yet some of these guys in 73 and 75, I know many times probably didn't have enough tape at times to put on their ankles. I mean, they came through during some tough times, and it wasn't I mean, they were blessed, but they didn't always have all the stuff that you guys have now. And does that cause you to want to play harder?
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that there. Those guys, whenever they come back and talk to us, things like that just show tremendous grit. Definitely a different time back then, but the lessons that they have shown definitely still render true today. Like you said, like not having all the things we have today, they're the reason we have those things today, and we definitely don't take that for granted.
Now, Dean, you and Tyler, who's faster, you or him?
I'm not really a track guy, so I don't know. I wouldn't bet on myself, but I would at the same
time. In the 40, what's your time? Do you have?
I'm probably about a 4.2 speed.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
I'd have to say the same.
You say the same.
Yeah.
You guys are right there.
Trying to set up a little.
And Max, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah,
They got it.
Yeah, you're leaving that alone.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, guys, it's you've got a big game coming up. It's Hiram at 1:00. We hope everyone will be a part of it. Get out there this Saturday at Edwards Mallory Field. It's going to be a lot of fun. I get to ask some cool questions, okay? And have you guys had any tests yet at Wittenberg since you've been in? Have you had a test?
A couple of them.
Couple of them. How'd you do? Are you doing okay?
I had a couple papers, not tests, but yeah.
Okay. It sounds really good. I'm going to ask you guys questions, and I think people all over the country, this is on YouTube, so people around the world see this. So, Dean, there could be some, your fifth year, there could be some dates coming. You never know. But here's the question, and I'll hit all of you. We'll start with Max, then we'll go to Dean, then to Tyler on each one. Guys, what hobby is one that would surprise people? Max, what's a hobby you have that would probably shock people?
Probably just off the top of my head, nothing super shocking, but I enjoy golfing. My free time. A lot of football and academics during the year, but definitely in the summer. Even as a team, we like to get out there and have some fun on the golf course, just whether it's Reed Park, Locust, wherever.
Yeah, good. And golf spelled backwards is flog. So it will flog you a lot. Take it from someone that's tried his whole life. Dean, you're over there cracking up.
Yeah.
What's something people would be surprised about a hobby you have?
Actually,
mild-mannered Dean.
If I wasn't playing football, I'd probably be like Michael Phelps or something like that. I'm a big swimmer. Yep. Last summer, I was actually a lifeguard. So I'm lifeguard, lifeguard certified, CPR certified.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm big swimmer.
What's your best? I mean, do you do the backstroke? Do you do the what?
All around.
Just all around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remember that. Coach, you got to remember that too. By the way, we'll get you in the pool, man. Get the swim coach. How about you, Tyler?
Not super shocking either, but I would say golfing.
Golfing?
Yeah, we're out there all the time.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, what inspired you to play? Let's go to you, Tyler. What inspired you to play football?
Definitely my dad. What's
his name?
Mike May.
Okay.
He's the head coach at Oak Harbor. So
Gotcha.
I'd always been around football since I was little, going to practices, and I was always a ball boy. So just being around the game and really fell in love with it, and that's why I'm here now. So
that's awesome. That's terrific. And behind every good man is a really good woman. So your mother,
Yeah.
I'm sure,
Oh yeah,
has been
for sure.
right there.
For sure.
Dean, how about you? Who inspired you to play football?
Really my mom, my little brother,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of just setting the tone, just playing since I was little, like
Yeah.
5, 6 years old. Then I got my little brother underneath me, just trying to set the way, show him the way, and kind of just fell in love with all sports in general.
That's fantastic. And Max, what do you have? What's your thoughts towards that? Who was really decisive in maybe drawing you towards football?
Yeah. I'd say my family as well, specifically my father. He was a hockey player, but
What's his name?
Terry Milton. He was a hockey player, but I always admired his toughness, and I was never much of a skater. So
Yeah.
as a young guy, I just wanted to be tough like him.
Yeah.
Saw the older kids playing football, and Indianapolis is more of a basketball state.
It
Indiana's
is.
more of a
It
basketball
is.
state, but always just wanted to go out there and always prove myself to him that I was tough like him. So that's kind of where I started growing up.
In Carmel, Indiana. That
Yes, sir.
They've had good football, too,
Yeah, for sure.
which is really good. So good. And your mom's name, Dean? What's her name?
Coy Tate.
Coy Tate. We want to thank her. We'll start with you, my man. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh. It's too many to name, but recently I haven't really been much of a movie guy. I end up falling asleep on movies.
Yeah,
yeah.
because of football.
Yeah.
But is there anything from way back? Is there anything from way back that really inspired you? Nothing jumps out.
I mean, I know, like, just growing up, like, I was, like, a big YouTube guy, or, like,
Yeah.
ESPN
Any scary
E60s or
stuff?
30 for 30s or something like
yeah.
that. But
Watching documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Max?
Yeah. Honestly, just off the top of my head, like Remember the Titans is one that stands
yeah.
out to me. Growing up,
Love to
again,
Remember the Titans.
just loved everything about football. So that's
Yeah.
one that definitely stands out to me.
That's exciting. How about you, Tyler?
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. Oh, we get a
Yeah.
little humor in there. I love that. Okay, sounds good. If you guys could have dinner with any person, alive or dead, who would that be, Tyler? If you had a chance to really spend a half hour to an hour with one person, who would that be?
Right now, it'd have to be Pat McAfee. I don't know if you guys know
McAfee.
him, but he's in the sports media
He's
world
cool,
too.
man.
So yeah, seems like a great guy to hang out with.
He does
so,
seem like a lot
yeah.
of fun.
Yeah, so I'd love to spend time with that guy.
Yeah, sounds good. How about you, Dean?
I got two. I mean, first, I'll probably go with my grandma. She passed away a couple years back. Just kind of
So sorry to hear.
had
Yeah.
that conversation again.
Amen.
But second, I don't know. I'd probably say like somebody, I don't know, like Shaq or something. Somebody that's just got a lot of businesses. Just kind of
Yeah.
pick their brain, see like the multiple ways that they kind of live their life outside of the
Yeah.
sports.
Okay. I'll remember that. I got some connections in basketball, so
Okay.
we'll see. I don't know if I have it that big, but we'll see. Max, how about you?
Since Tyler took Pat McAfee, which is a great one.
He is like really, taken over. Like,
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like some of these Jim Rome and all these guys, they're not on the front
Yeah.
show anymore. This guy's got like 2 hours. on
Especially from
ESPN.
being from Indianapolis, like
Is
he's
he?
there, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I know he said something about Ursay.
yeah,
The other
they
day,
started
he
in
was at-
Indianapolis and now they're just north Indianapolis, like in the Westfield area.
How about
so,
that? How
yeah,
about
that's
that?
awesome. If he took Pat, I'd probably go with maybe like someone like Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Just super famous.
Uh-huh.
I feel like he has a bunch of different things going on.
A lot of
Would be
podcasts.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit down and talk with him for a little bit.
Sounds good, guys. Only a couple more, and then we're going to hopefully take a break. We got pizzas coming, so
Sweet.
I know you guys probably will try a little bit. Dean, who's going to out eat you? I don't know.
If I was to put my money on it, I'd go with Max.
Max could get it up. Okay. What do you do in your free time, guys? When you do get some, sounds like you sleep a lot.
Or play the game. I'm a gamer too. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the
You
game.
play a lot of
Yeah,
games.
I probably play the game my whole life.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
How about you, Max?
I'd have to say if it's not football related, maybe just like hanging out with the guys on our team. I think that also just plays a
Where
role.
do you guys hang at? Like, where would be a place?
Tyler's house is one of the
Tyler's
main
house,
ones.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
just a bunch of us have houses, so
Oh, yeah.
that we all just live in like 5-man, 4-man houses.
Watch a lot of football.
Yep, watch football, hang out. Like Last Friday, we were able to just grill together and make a bunch of food
Nice,
before the game.
nice.
So kind of just things like
Do you
that.
guys ever go to like a high school game, Springfield, or anything like that?
I haven't personally been,
Yeah.
but I know some dudes will.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know they've had a really good team the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Tyler? What-
Same, just hanging out with the guys.
Just hanging out.
Just going to whoever's house it is throughout the week, and I think that really shows like on Saturdays like how close we are really.
I know you're going to hear this a lot now that you're getting close to, you're a junior, but these other guys that are getting close to graduation, and this whole word called relationships. And I think that's what's so powerful, what I hear you guys saying. I hope you understand how valuable that is. And a lot of guys, I've been at the Division I level in basketball, and I've been at Division III level in basketball, and been around broadcasting my whole life. There are guys who play at that high level, but they're so caught up in all the things going on, many of them don't build relationships. And you guys are getting to do something that is so powerful, that's life-changing. These guys will be in your weddings. They're going to be there, when your kids are growing up. That's what life's about. And it's about giving forward and I think giving back. And so it's so good to hear you guys say that. I think I'm going to ask you guys a little bit about your NFL teams. Who's your team, Max?
I'm a Lions fan. Originally, I'm from Michigan. So
Now, you didn't just start rooting for them.
No. I'm originally from Michigan, so my whole family's Lions fans. So we've been in the Union for a while.
There
so
you go.
It's great.
This has got to be like gratifying.
Amazing. I haven't said I'm a Lions fan with a smile on my face for the
Right,
majority
right.
of my life.
Probably
So
Lions.
yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
it's a great feeling. Dan Campbell's doing a great job there. So that's fun
awesome.
to watch.
That's good. How about you, Tyler?
I'm a Steelers guy. So
Steelers.
Seen a lot
All
of
right.
good football in my
That's a
lifetime.
cuss word down in this area, so be careful. Dean, how about you?
I had to probably go with the Colts and the Browns. I got two close friends that play for both of them, so
Okay.
I'm rooting for them.
Sweet. Do they play each other? I can't remember this year.
To be honest, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. We are going to take a break now. John, I don't know. There he is. There's Dave coming in now. We'll take a quick break. Fellas, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And we wish you the best.
Sir, appreciate it.
Enjoy homecoming.
you.
And play your hearts out, guys.
Yes, sir.
Really have a good time. We're going to take a break and get back with Dave Williams, the best guy in broadcasting that I've worked with my whole life, and also the man, Jim Collins, our favorite coach. And we John, could you show the Tiger Talk banner? This is, guys, what do you think of this banner? It's brand new.
Sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
I need this in my house.
Well, I was going to say, Max, you can't touch it, man. Stay off of that. And if I can't find it, I know where I'm going. But, no, I thought it turned out really well. So, fellas, thanks for coming on. We'll see you.
Thank you.
And talk to you on Saturday. Looking
sir.
forward to the
Yes,
game.
sir.
Yep. Tight.
Let's get in a car. Let's drive that real far. We'll fly like stars. Supernova. We'll go with the wind. Take it for a spin. Keep doing it over and over. Ooh. Life is like a roller
Welcome back to Tiger Talk on Scobie Sports Radio. I'm Dave Williams, the lost co-host. I am back now with Jim Collins.
He's the piece of man.
Jim, let me ask you. Saturday, you get a big win. Then you go home. Do you watch football then at night?
I do. Yeah, I couldn't wait. You know, I love watching college football.
Yeah.
You know, so when I get home on a Saturday, if there's a great game on, I'm going to put it on and watch it. And the one that was on when I got home on Saturday night was Duke against Notre Dame. And that was a great football game. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
At 4th and 16, they converted with a quarterback run. I mean, it's a killer.
And Duke's got to be sick about that, right? Because they were bottling the guy up.
Yeah.
I thought they were really aggressive. They were blitzing, and they go with the 3-man rush, drop deep into coverage, and he scrambled and made a play. And that's what we talk about all the time.
The worst part is, and the Duke quarterback gets hurt, too.
And then he gets hurt. Yep. So that was a great game. And obviously, you're always rooting for Marcus Freeman. He's a local guy. And Ohio State grad, went to Wayne High School,
You know
so it's
Taver
good
Johnson,
to see.
Who played here?
I know Taver really well.
Yeah.
Taver right after me. Taver was a freshman
he's a
about
good
2
friend
years
of mine,
after me.
And when he was at Ohio State, Marcus and him kind of shared an office, and I went over a few times and saw him. And I still try to stay up with Taver, but Marcus Freeman is he's amazing. He really is a real deal.
Yeah,
I wish him great success.
Speaking of Taver right now, Taver's with the Philadelphia Eagles.
He is.
So they got a chance. They got a really good football team.
That's why I was trying to figure out how he'd be in the neighborhood. He's not really in the neighborhood. So
did you happen to see their game Sunday, Coach? When
I didn't see that game. No,
they played the Commanders, and the Commanders scored at the end of the game.
I got a question for you.
They're
That's
1 point down, and I thought he's going to go for 2, but he didn't. Kick the extra point, and then they lose in overtime.
They usually call him
Commanders are going to win. They got to do it there.
Yeah, they usually call him the riverboat gambler.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
and it was one of those deals where I think everybody thought he's going to win this. It's at Philadelphia, and then he went for the tie, and then they lost in overtime. But that was the question: do you talk to your staff before the game that if we get to this level? If it's overtime or whatever, we have to make a decision. Do you do that ahead of time, or do you wait until the situation happens? He said that he felt like his team was really worn out, and he didn't think that it was the time, and he thought in overtime they could win it. But do you think? I'm certain you have to think of all those things.
We have those conversations, but I think it's a feel that you get during the game. You know, and I use this last game as a great example. You know, we get in that fourth quarter, and it's two teams that have battled hard for 60 minutes. And they built up a little bit of momentum there, being down 21-7, and then Denison comes back and ties it up. And so when we got into overtime and they got the ball first, and that's your strategy. If you win the toss, you're going to go on defense second, or you're going to go on. You're going to go on offense second. So you're going to get a chance to put your defense out there, see what you have to do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and so we put our defense out in the field and won the toss, and they got the field goal. And I told our guys, we're going to take a shot here. We're going to try to win this game right now. We're not going to want to keep going back and keeping it a tie and extend the game any further. We wanted to end it quickly there in overtime, and that's what we were able to do. Max threw a great ball. Tyler ran a great route and got open behind everybody. And so I think it all comes down to where you are in the game and where the momentum is and how you feel about your team. And as I said, we were going to be aggressive and try to win that game in that first overtime frame.
Coach, did you happen to see the Colorado State game a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I did. I saw that game
overtime,
too. Yeah.
And when they flipped, Colorado won the flip, but the kid got mixed up. And he chose, we're going to play at this end. So then Colorado State went on defense. Well, then the next overtime, it was Colorado State's turn to choose, and they said, we're going on defense. So they got to go on defense twice, to start the overtime.
Yeah. That's interesting. Of course, you were at Capital for a short while, had great success over there. Ohio State fan? Is that you root?
When
for
I was
the
at
Buckeyes?
Capital, we got to know Coach Tressel really well.
Okay.
They had actually practiced a couple times over at Capital.
Oh,
He wanted to
nice.
get off campus and come on over to our place. And
Right.
and the nice thing that year that they won the national championship
Right.
Exactly.
in 2002, they practiced a couple times at Capital.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they did. So it
I
was
got to
neat
go to
having
that
them over.
championship game.
Yeah,
That was neat.
Yeah, that was a great championship game,
Yeah, it
beating
was.
Miami
Yes,
like they
Miami,
did.
double
And
overtime.
and so I got to know those coaches over at Ohio State really well when I was at Capital, and they had a great staff
Yes, they
when
did.
Jim Tressel was there, and even before when John Cooper was there, and they had Mike Jacobs, who was a Wittenberg grad, as their offensive coordinator.
Well, and you go back to Tressel's dad in the OAC.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all the history there, and then his brother helped coach too.
And that
I'm
used
sure
to be
you
the
got
big,
to know those guys.
The big rivalry, Wittenberg and Baldwin Wallace.
No doubt. And you know, Dick Tressel was his brother. He was the running
Right.
backs coach at Ohio State at the time. And obviously, Lee Tressel, who passed away right after
dad.
BW won the national championship, beat Wittenberg to win the national
Right.
championship that year.
They played
that
3
something?
times
That
that
Lee
year, I
Tressel,
think.
yeah. And that was the back in the day of the blue-red division. So
Yeah.
they played them
Gee.
regular season in the OAC championship
Tournament.
game and then in the national
And
championship
was that the
final.
year they tied in the championship game?
Yes, it was.
So that's
incredible.
Yeah,
That's
right?
incredible.
What
Look at you.
What a great rivalry. And
Yeah.
the rivalry's coming back in 2024. We
Yeah,
will
that's-
open
that's
the
great.
season
that's awesome,
against
man.
Baldwin Wallace, which will be
Now, is
fantastic.
that a 2-year contract? or-
2-year contract. We go there in 24.
Okay.
And they'll come to Springfield in 25.
Okay, that's great.
Maryland comes to Ohio State. You know, we're talking a little college football. Don't underestimate Maryland.
Well, they're 4-0.
They've got some talent, and,
And
they're
you know,
physical.
they've
They've
got
played
two
Ohio
his
State
brother
stars.
Yeah, two
playing
his brothers
quarterback
there.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been there, it seems like, for about 5
Oh, yeah.
years, right? Yeah.
Tagovailoa,
Yeah.
Coach, we're excited about homecoming. We just think that this is a special weekend, as always, and lots of alums will come back, and this is their chance to, you know, remember a lot of things, a lot of memories coming back, and I'm sure the stories get better, you know, with your buddies. Anybody that you played with that has talked to you that has said, "I'm coming back, Jim."
We've got a bunch of guys coming back
Do ya?
from that era. Yeah, and it's going to be great to see them. And that's been the coolest thing about being back at Wittenberg. You know, when you're in the coaching profession, you don't get a chance to come back to your
right,
alma mater
yeah.
homecoming
It's
game
really
because
true.
you're coaching somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it had been a long time since I've seen a lot of these guys back on campus. So you get great memories, great flashbacks, and it's going to be good to see them. And also good to see all the other alums that since I've been the head coach now in the last 2 years, just a great opportunity to connect and meet more people and some former great Tigers that played before me and after me.
And it's got to be exciting to be able to come back and coach at your alma mater.
There's no doubt. There's,
Yeah.
you know, I've got great passion for the university and the football program, and take great pride in being a Tiger, and understand it's a blessing to be back, and it's a great responsibility, and I take it very serious. You know, this is a great program and with great tradition, and obviously we want to build this football program every single day and get better and compete for championships, not just on the conference level, but on the national level.
Coach, can you let all the fans know it's a 1:00 game? Is there anything that they should be aware of as far as, you know, is there something before the game, after the game, anything that people are coming in from out of town need to know for that particular day as far as preparation or being ready, you know, for the homecoming game? Is there anything?
I would say get there early because
Yeah.
it's going to be a big crowd. You get
It's
a
gonna be
chance to
packed.
see the Hall of Honor
Yeah.
recognition, and
They
you know,
usually have a huge tent.
we've
down-
got that
down on
huge
the one
tent
end.
back, and,
Yeah.
and we've got
That's exciting. All those
yeah,
guys
it's
will
going to
be
be an exciting day, and just be loud. Come and cheer us on, and we
Tiger
can't wait
up,
to
baby.
see y'all. Absolutely,
Yeah.
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 Tiger up.
Yes, yes. Coach, we're so grateful that you came on tonight, and we're so glad for your win and these three guys, a good
Tyler,
group.
Max, and Dean, good to
They're
see 'em.
super guys,
Yeah.
and I would want to take them anywhere. I mean,
And I enjoy doing this a lot and spending time with you guys, but also getting an opportunity to see our guys, getting
Yeah.
in front of the
Yeah.
mic and just find out more about them. And what you find out is every single week it's a new group of guys, and you realize we don't just have great football players at Wittenberg. We got great people. And,
Right.
and these guys really enjoy not just the playing and competitive aspect, but being around each other and the camaraderie. And as you mentioned, the relationships that you build when you're in a program like ours.
That's right. Tate and Meyer, I'm looking for somebody to replace Williams, Dave Williams. And I think you guys got a chance. So, it was?
Going to push the old timer out. Thanks,
said,
man.
Tate said that
He's going after my job.
his minor was broadcast.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Dean Tate's.
I say that a lot today. He knows that I don't mean that, but
Oh, I know.
I would have you come in, man.
Sure.
During basketball, you come in and we'll put you to work. That'd be fun.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
You got to take me out for pizza and some other stuff, but we'll work it out.
Yeah, well,
Coach, good to see you as
great
always.
seeing you, Dave. Jim, thanks so much.
Always good,
Appreciate
Jim.
it.
Appreciate it. Hey, we're so delighted. Tiger Talk again.
Homecoming Saturday.
Homecoming Saturday. And folks, be sure and check it all out. And we just want to say to you, Wittenberg, get that victory at homecoming. Everybody be there. Tiger up.
See you next time.